Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about this Fender Ultra Luxe American Floyd Rose Stratocaster. This guitar has an alder body and the build quality overall is quite good. I wouldn't say that it's amazing like an ESP, but it has it where it counts. We have a nice solid tight neck pocket there, which is where you want to have it if you've got to pick it in one place. The comfort and playability of this guitar is excellent. You can never lose with Fender's forearm contour for right-hand comfort and success. And around the back, we've got what I would consider the best neck heel carve and contour that I've ever seen on a bolt-on guitar, and that includes the likes of Tom Anderson and ESP guitars. Fender does enhanced contouring on all of the Ultra series, and that includes the back contour, which allows for a nice, snug, comfortable fit against the body. The neck is a compound radius, starts at 10 inches, and flattens out to 14 on the way up. As you might know, that makes for very comfortable rhythm playing in lower positions, combined with the possibility for nice low action and aggressive bending at the higher end without fretting out. Fender calls this contour an augmented D, whatever that means, I don't know, but I will tell you it's very comfortable. The fretwork, leveling and polishing is great, and these are medium jumbo frets. And these days, Fender's even making these guitars with stainless steel frets. So how about the tone of this thing? And if we're talking tone, it's probably best to start with the pickups. These are all the factory pickups, and in the bridge position, this is Fender's Ultra Double Tap Bridge Humbucker. It's a moderate output Alnico 4 magnet, and it has a really, really harmonically excitable, kind of chaotic, fuzzy, overdriven sound. It's actually really great for the rock stuff, and with the switching it does, combined with this S1, which we'll talk about soon, you can get very traditional Strat sounds and great rock tones out of this thing. In the neck and middle positions, these are Fender's Hot Ultra Noiseless Strat pickups, and these are Alnico 5 magnets. They're a great blend of articulation, and they have good note bloom, and they do really well with distortion and shredding, but to be honest, they're a tad bit muddy when it comes to the clean tones. For my money, Fender's V-Mod single coils and their vintage Noiseless slash Clapton pickups eat these things for lunch in the clean tone realm. They have far more headroom, sparkle, note bloom, and top end, kind of more high fidelity overall. In terms of the switching, you have standard 5-way switching, which is bridge, bridge middle, middle, middle neck, and neck. It's classic 1 volume 2-tone setup. This volume pot, by the way, is a low friction pot, and these all have rubberized knobs, which means they're very easy to turn. And for me, while I was filming the demo portion of this video, I accidentally turned the volume down significantly, about that much, 3 or 4 times. But one thing you'll notice is when you turn the volume down while playing this, you don't lose treble. That's because the volume pot has what they call a treble bleed bypass. It's a very simple wiring modification to the pot that keeps you from losing treble as you turn the pot down. I think every guitar by law should have one. In the middle of the volume, there's this little push called the S1. And what the S1 switch does here is it activates what they call a double tap in this bridge humbucker. And what that means is instead of splitting it, like turning off half of the pickup, this remains a humbucker, but there are hot leads that come out partway through the wind of each coil, which means the output basically drops a bit. It still cancels hum, and it actually pulls off sounding like a hot Strat single coil in position 1 and position 2. Fender did a fantastic job with that, and this S1 switch is absolutely legit. Now, while this guitar is cool, it certainly has its share of head scratching elements as well. Why Fender put 2 screws on the bass side of the pickup mounting for the bridge pickup, I have no idea. One could argue that it makes for a more stable bridge pickup, but to me, it's an eyesore, it's quirky, and it makes things overly complicated when trying to potentially retrofit an aftermarket bridge pickup there. As seems to be typical for Fender guitars, Stratocasters, seems like you cannot buy a Stratocaster whose pickguard isn't pre-warped or will warp by the bass side screw of the neck pickup. And Fender has inside the tremolo recess this little piece of rubber plastic, which actually is loose in my guitar, and I have to push it down a lot. Fender kind of cheaped out here. They should have sanded this and just let the finish stand on its own there, but instead this thing comes loose and sometimes it even falls out. Maybe the biggest sin of all is the tremolo cavity. It's not completely routed underneath the Floyd Rose arm socket. In my case, this guitar came with a loose Floyd socket, which would require you to take this cover off, go straight into the back of the guitar, perpendicular to the strings, just straight up there, and tighten a small Allen screw. But the way this is routed is that edge of the bridge is not exposed. So if you want to tighten or loosen the Floyd socket, you have to take the bridge completely out of the guitar, which is absolutely obnoxious. The edge of the Floyd Rose recess route is a little janky through here. You can see it sort of humps right there. And overall, I would say that the route is maybe a tad bit oversized or sloppy for this. But I gotta say, overall, this guitar is absolutely worth the money, and I'd 100% recommend it. But Fender, if you're listening, please, 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 please offer this guitar in more and cooler colors than the 2 drab choices that you give us. And consider putting actual real jumbo frets on these things instead of medium jumbos. I think a lot of shredders and super Strat players would probably prefer that. But overall, Fender, good job, worth the money, unless you have the capability, the skills, and the knowledge of your components to build your own parts casters, because you can make a guitar as cool as this or even cooler for the same amount of money. Just saying. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Hold on. I love this.